So this is a sketchbook tour for my sketchbook that I submitted last year for Sheridan illustration. I'm in Sheridan illustration right now. I'm pretty much almost finished my first year. I only have a month left. It's quarantine time right now, so I thought it would be fun, I guess, to look through my old sketchbook and some old stuff and see what I would do maybe for other people who are trying to apply to the program. I got a pretty high mark on my sketchbook. If I can find it, I'll put it in the video, but it was a year ago. I don't really know where the hell that went. But so yeah, I'm gonna go through this, see what I would do differently. And what I did pretty well to get in with to get a good mark on the sketchbook. So yeah. Right now, my best class is the one that has the sketchbook in it. So I think I'm doing pretty well with that. So I think I have some ability to be able to talk about this. But yeah, so anyway, without further ado, my sketchbooks look much different than this now, but so basically the first thing, you have to like make your sketchbook look kind of unique, I think. So I cut out the front and I put, this is like a self-portrait I did in like 10 minutes. But anyway, yeah, this is my number. So yeah. So I started out with this. I'm basically just gonna go through, and if I have any comments, I will tell those comments, but right now I do not. I just drew some friends here, you know, and one of the life drawing models as well. You do pretty much have to show like, hey, I know how to draw and sketch things, but they also want to see some fun, you know. Oh fuck. So here I drew all my family members and my boyfriend. Oh, looking back on this now, I'm like, oh, this sucks. Yeah, drawing from life, obviously really important. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. You've probably seen that in like every video. Draw from life. I think cutting things out is like the most like, fuck. I think cutting things out and adding color after you finish something is like one of the most cool things you can make your sketchbook look super cool, is just like cutting things out pretty much. Don't put a lot of digital in, but like also fuck whatever. Like I feel like the requirements are always like, oh, you need to do this, and then you do it and then they'll be like, oh, not like that. Like there's so many people that I know that have tried to get in and they do like exactly what I asked, but then some of their feedback that they get is like, oh, it doesn't show us like who you are. So I think a lot of the time if you say, oh, I'm gonna do this, but also fuck it, it'll help you kind of show your personality. Maybe fuck it's just part of mine. I don't know. Draw some rooms, you know. It was this time that I went out like pretty much every day, and I went out and I just like drew at coffee shops and stuff. And I put like right down here, like I put that I don't know if they see this or not, but I put like, hey, this took me 10 minutes. But yeah, pasting stuff in, I do that a lot with my sketchbooks right now. I'm kind of it's a pretty crafty sketchbook, I would say, but this one's like me just delving into it. But here's some other stuff. I think pages, a good thing to do is to like, if you're cutting things out and stuff like that, is to think of like the theme of the page, like all or like a spread. It's like, this is black, white, and red, you know, and they all kind of are like shitty quick drawings. Like I think it makes it look like it's one piece almost. I think that's a cool thing to have. You know, feet, that shit. I think a lot of things that I put in here were like things that I thought they were good to put in like the portfolio, but like they weren't big enough, or they weren't, you know, like rejected portfolio pieces. Fucking so good to put in your sketchbook, because it makes it look like, oh, I tried it out here first, you know. Oh shit. I think I don't like this very much. It was like I remember it was an empty page and I just threw it in here because I would say don't have empty pages. Like fill them up with something, like old shit, like anything, literally anything, or even just like coloring. Like this was something I did in class and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking just gonna put it here. Or like this was something, they don't like characters, but like it's better to have something than to have a blank page, you know? So I pasted this in and then I used some metallic paint to just spice it up a little, you know? Just a lot of different stuff. Like, you know. This was not a warm-up for my portfolio or for my drawing test, but I used the same kind of pose. Not really. He was sitting, same model, same boyfriend that I used, so it counts. Yeah. I have a lot of graphite in here. I would kind of suggest way more media exploration. At the moment I basically thought, there's some philosophy or ideologies or whatever, I basically thought sketchbooks for the longest time was like, you know, you sketch in it. It's graphite or like ink or like maybe some markers or something. And then after this sketchbook, I kind of started to realize like sketchbooks just do whatever you want. Like that's it. Like it's your, you know, haven. So I just kind of like whatever I feel like doing, just do it. And if it looks bad, like whatever. I do like this paper, this specific sketchbook, which name I'm going to put in the description because I can't remember right now. But the pages are really thick. It's kind of like a mixed media paper, but it also takes graphite pretty nicely, except for, it's stuck in, that's why it's bad. But yeah, experiment with a bunch of different stuff, you know? So, these were like a bunch of graphite sketches. The light is so bright that it's like killing this, but I mean, it's not that good anyway, but whatever. I drew my dogs a bunch. Just honestly, like when you're working on your sketchbook, just draw everything. But I would say at this point, I was like, oh my god, like what do I put in here? I'm just gonna draw everything, right? And it is good to draw everything, I would say. But also, there are some things where I was like only drawing them because I knew that they wanted it. And it's good to have some things that it's like, oh look, I can draw a person. I can draw some plants, you know? Like we do that a lot. I mean, life drawing and life painting are two classes that you take. And so like, they need to know that you're able to do it. So it's good to know. We do lots of still lives as well, which I personally dislike, but lots of fruit, shit like that. So it's always good to be able to show that you can draw things from life. But that's why, like, I would say add some pizzazz, you know? Dump some glitter all over it, you know? Make it fun. I remember I drew this in class. Don't really like it anymore. I drew both of these in class, and I was like, oh, man, they are not gonna like these at all. But also, there's a character design assignment in the first first term. So they say like no cartoons, no anime, like that kind of thing, but you can put a little bit in. And like make sure that you tell them your personality. It's really important for them to see it. This was something, I took fundies. I didn't try to get into illustration and then take fundies. I just didn't know what I wanted yet, so I just took art fundamentals at Sheridan because I didn't know what to do. I think I mean, I don't want to bash on art fundamentals, but there's a lot of things that you do that's geared towards, there's a lot of things that you do that's not that beneficial, let's say. Like, you know, it's very entry level, and some of the stuff we learned was like definitely from like high school art class. There's some friends I drew. I still love him. I should like make a character out of him or something. He's the best. I went to life drawing with my sketchbook, and I just did, because Sheridan offers life drawing just for anybody to go into pretty much. Or no, it's fundies, but like they don't check. You can just go. Doesn't matter what program you're in. But I know that there was this one girl that, I don't know her. Don't come for me, Sheridan. And there was this one girl that she said nothing. She just went there to take free life drawing. And I was like, oh my god. But I don't know who she is. I don't know her name, even if you ask me, so don't come for me. Anyway. This was for an assignment for fundies, these two. think it was like a 9, you drew like 9 things in different color schemes or whatever. This was supposed to be a bagel. I still didn't really know how to paint yet, and we had to use specific colors, so it just doesn't look like anything really, but it's fine, whatever. I needed something. It's on illustration board. Good stuff to put in. Makes it look thicker, makes you look like you work hard, you know? Good thing, good thing. This was a little quick sketch of my brother. He wore my flower crown from like when I was like in 9th grade. Some of my makeup I pasted in there. Some quick paintings, like this is like a 5-minute painting. This was from Art Fundies. I don't remember how long we used to paint for. But yeah, this was like a composition sketch I did on bond paper, because they just make you do everything on bond paper basically in Fundies. Then I put some paint around it. This is another assignment from Fundies. Man, looking back on this stuff is so like, ew, 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 ew. Oh, ew. There's a life drawing, you know, just a quick, super quick painting of a bird that I hate looking at right now. It's awful. I think I did this the night before the sketchbook was due, actually. Just to fill up some empty pages. I was like, I'm gonna draw a bunch of paint a bunch of birds. I would say so far, it's just kind of like, it's like, I think some of the best pages are the ones that have like extra pages, things cut out, you know, that kind of thing. This was like at the very beginning. Don't do this. This is an empty page. This was a gouache rooster. I really like the feet. I think the feet look really nice. The rest of it's okay. This is my D&D character. This is my like first, like I just got a tablet when I did this. I didn't know how to do digital. This is all with one brush. I had no idea like how to use different brushes and like paint and stuff, so I just did that. This is also from Fundies. A lot of this stuff is like I said, just putting in old work that isn't that good, but sketchbooks don't have to be good, so whatever, you know? I would say I would recommend not putting if you are in, I guess this is gonna, if you are in art fundamentals, or maybe if you're in like high school and you're trying to get into the program, don't put, I mean, you can, if you're really proud of it, put some old, like some art that you have from high school, like in your portfolio, sure. But like if you really like it. But if it's like, oh, I don't know what to do, oh my god, oh, this kind of fits what they're asking for in the portfolio, like put it in your sketchbook instead of your portfolio. Yeah, if you want to get in, I would recommend, I mean, I made everything new because I wanted to show like, this is what I'm like now. This wasn't what I was like fucking, like, sorry, I'm swearing so much. This isn't what I'm like years ago, you know, because I was through, oh, how old was I? It was 2 years out of high school when I applied, so none of my high school works were gonna work. But yeah, I made this in both of these actually at the beginning in October before I applied, and I was like, these are my portfolio, I'm gonna put these in my portfolio. And then learning more about the portfolio and also just getting better at art, I was like, these suck, they're going in my sketchbook. You can see a reoccurring theme here. I should have drawn way more nude bodies in like paint, because we do that a lot in first year. Life painting, like I said, is we like basically the first semester is life painting and like still life drawing are all, I mean, still life stuff. But then second semester we haven't done a still life at all. So it's all painting from life and drawing from life, and like that's it. If I can fucking pick this up. Sarah. Oh no, they're stuck together. This was super quick. You know, you can do whatever, honestly. But yeah, I just left a rat's nest. There I am. Hello. It's really hard to see in this, but it's at Sheridan. Hello. At Sheridan they have in the bookstore a bunch of paper at the back in like this arts and crafts section. I feel like I'm the only one of the only people in illustration, or at least in my year right now, that I ever see go back there. but you can find some cheap shit that like nobody uses because they think it's, I don't want to generalize, but I think it's because people don't think it's like, you know, good art supplies, and it's not good art supplies, but that's the fun. But anyway, there's this paper here. I think it's for the textile students, basically, but I buy it anyway. It's like, it's just shiny paper, and ink just like stays on it. Like, this is just India ink, and it's just so fun to work with, and it makes your stuff look so cool and like just weird and different. I think what I would recommend is just doing lots of this stuff, because in my sketchbooks now I do so much more with this kind of thing, so much more with pasting things in, just making it into like a full mess, you know, of anything I can get my hands on. In illustration, in the second semester, you have to make your own sketchbook out of, like, you can't buy a sketchbook. You just make it from scratch. And one of my friends, they made their sketchbook out of just garbage, like straight up just garbage. Like they like cleaned it and stuff, I think so, but anyway, they made it just out of garbage, and I think that's so fun. Like, it just goes to show you, like, you literally just do anything, and as long as you can, like, you have something to show that just shows that you're able to be creative. Like, that's kind of what a sketchbook is. There's some good, like, put some life drawing in there, do your art school, look, I can draw whatever, due diligence, but I think the thing that they're looking for in this more is your ability to just problem solve and create shit out of nothing, you know what I mean? Your future professors will say, like, or they'll see your portfolio, there's life drawings in there. You're showing how that you can do stuff in your portfolio. In your sketchbook, it should be, this is how I practice, and look at me just doing whatever the hell, you know? Like, it should show your range of ideas, I think. And I know it's kind of vague, but I mean, there you go. I'm gonna upload a couple other sketchbook videos as well, so anyway, here's some feet from life drawing, I think from like the night before. These were also from the night before. I was just like, you know what, just add some watercolor, make it colorful, whatever. I always add a thank you message at the end because I think it's cute. But yeah, and that's the end of that. Marker's in the way. So yeah, that's the end of that. So I think, looking back through this, I just think that I should use a lot more media. This should not be as, like, at least for me, from my perspective, sketchbooks this thin, not good. They should look like a thick boy. My the sketchbook I'm working on now, my goal is to make it unclosable. I want, right now when I go to class, I mean, we can't because we're in quarantine, but when I go to class, I have to bring it in a different bag, like a extra satchel kind of bag, so that, because it gets in the way of all my other things that I have to bring with me. So I just think that sketchbooks that are thin are uninteresting to me, personally. I'm sure if it's, I don't really know. Just for me, my advice. I think the thicker, the better, as they say. So I mentioned before that I am going to, I mean, I've already uploaded a sketchbook tour for my first semester. My second semester sketchbook is due in a week, so I'm going to be posting a video of that one as well. I might post like one that's with commentary and one without, with just some music, just going through it. I'm not really sure yet, but yeah. And I think once that, if you're seeing this one now and you wanted to go check another one out, you can kind of see more what I mean by, like, I start to, like, really start to paste things in and explore with media and that kind of thing. I also explore a little bit more with comics, with, and in my sketchbook, that's in the one that I posted already, but the one that I'm doing right now, I'm trying to explore a bit more with music and making comics and making art out of music, because it's really beneficial to, like, I don't know, help your art brain, you know? It's kind of like a good exercise to draw to music. But yeah, so you will see me in the next video whenever that comes out.